morning, preschool friends. We make our beginning in the name of the Father. Make our beginning in the name of the Son. We make our beginning in the name of the Spirit. Holy Trinity, three in one. Amen. Amen. Holy Trinity, three in one. This week for our Jesus story, we are talking about ascension. Ascension. Ascension is when Jesus went back up to heaven, which is where he is now, right? Watching over us. So our book is, I'm going to read from the Child's Garden of Bible Stories, which some of you had or have. And it's the very last story. Jesus returns to heaven. Jesus stayed on earth for 40 days after he had risen from the grave. During these days, he showed himself to his disciples many times. Yes, we read about that, right? He wanted them to be sure he was really alive. One day, Jesus said to them, "Soon I will return to heaven, and after I am gone, I want you to teach the good news of God's love to all people." So he gave his disciples a very big job. Their job was to teach others about Jesus when he went back up to heaven. Then Jesus took his disciples to a small place called Bethany, where they followed him to the top of a small mountain. Jesus lifted his hands and blessed his disciples. While he blessed them, he began to rise from the ground. Higher and higher he went. The disciples watched him as he rose toward heaven. At last, a cloud hid him from his sight. So it was that Jesus went to his home in heaven. And here's a small picture right here. Suddenly, the disciples saw two angels in white clothing standing beside them. "You men of Galilee," the angels said, "why do you stand here looking up to heaven? Jesus will come again." The disciples prayed and went back to Jerusalem. They were filled with joy, and they praised God for his great goodness toward the sinful people of the world. And there he goes. So that is where Jesus is right now. He is up in heaven, watching over us and protecting us. But you know what? When he told his disciples that their job was to tell others about his love, he wasn't just talking to those men. He was talking to all of us. It is all of our jobs to go and show people God's love and to tell people about God's love. Fold your hands, please. Dear Jesus, help us to remember that we are not too young to share your love with others. We can show your love by showing kindness to our friends and families, and by telling others about you. Please watch over us today and keep us all safe. Amen.